you can start today to improve your overall mental health, your self-care, your outlook on life, and hopefully it helps out. I'm excited to share these tips with you. I know they've helped me, and I know I've struggled with them. I know a lot of people struggle with kind of balance, especially entrepreneurs, creative types. Of course, this is Sips and Ish, so we are going to do this over a cocktail, and I've chosen one of my favorites. It's nighttime here. I'm winding down. It's one of my favorite nightcaps. It's a Manhattan. I've chosen Sazerac Rye. I was able to get my hand on a couple of bottles. I know it's an allocated Buffalo Trace product, so whenever I can get it, I grab some. I'm using Antica Torino vermouth, which is a sweet vermouth, a very nice, kind of spicy vermouth, complex. And I'm using Angostura bitters. My recipe is simple. Get a mixing glass, fill it with ice, pour in 2 ounces of your rye whiskey, Sazerac here, 3/4 of an ounce of sweet vermouth, 4 dashes of Angostura bitters. Give it a really, really nice stir till it's cold and dilute it a little bit, and then pour it into a coupe. I'm going to show you right here. It's delicious. I will be sipping on it throughout the podcast. As I mentioned before, I'm talking about mental health, self-care, if you will. And I've got notes I'm going to pick up on my iPad here just so I can look at it and be distinct and intentional with what I'm going to say. These are 5 easy steps. I broke it down into 5 steps. There can be many, many steps that you can take, but I think these are the 5 that are the most important, or the 5 that have helped me the most. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'm actually going to have captions below here to give you a little bit of guidance as well. I think my number one tip for self-care and mental health is always having something to look forward to. And the reason I chose this as my number one is that I was and I'm internally grateful, and I want to express gratitude to my significant other, Kristen, for actually arranging a date night out this past Saturday. It was much needed. I think having something to look forward to and always having something on your calendar, whether it's a date night, a vacation, the smallest of things to look forward to, and that could be family or it could be relationship, it could even be business, just whatever you find as a priority. But for me, it's oftentimes relationship related. So Kristen had arranged a date night out. Her mom babysat Genevieve. Her mom stayed at our house, and we got a hotel. So there was that aspect. It was kind of like a staycation here in State College, Pennsylvania. We went to one of our favorite restaurants. We hit 2 cocktail bars before and after that restaurant. And of course, like a parents, we were in bed by 11 p.m., had a great night out, slept in a little bit, and that was amazing. It was something to look forward to, and it was something I super appreciated. Now that that's over, what's next? Let's put something else on the calendar. Let's have something else to count down, to look forward to. And it's super important to have that in moments of stress, especially when you're just at your desk, you're pulling your hair out if you have hair. And just having those moments to just like gather yourself and say, okay, I'm going to get past this. I'm going to look forward to this next thing, this vacation, this date night, this family thing we're going to do, whatever the case may be. Just always have something on your calendar to look forward to, something to work towards. Number 2, and this one's super important, focus on the positives. Everybody in life is fighting a battle that you know nothing about. Oftentimes you've got dozens of stresses that could bring you down. By focusing on a positive, or taking a second to think about what you're grateful for, or having that one piece for you to kind of focus on that's positive in your life, it's going to expand and multiply. And it's going to make all the other things, all the other bullshit pieces of your life disappear, or at least seem less significant. You always have something positive in your life. And if you don't have anything positive in your life, I'm going to disagree with you and say you're just not practicing gratitude. And focusing on the positive and practicing gratitude kind of go hand in hand. So definitely think about the positives in your life. Maybe even write them down every morning if you struggle with this, and look at that piece of paper with the positives you have in your life and put some energy towards the positive things in your life instead of the negative things. Obviously, negative things need to be taken care of and with swift action. However, there's going to be a lot easier to handle that if you focus on the positive pieces. Even if there's a negative thing in your life that you need to take care of, whether it's mounting bills or debt, a car repair that seems out of reach, whatever the case may be, if you focus on the positive outcome of taking care of that, that could also help. So that's just another piece of advice for me. Finding exercise you love. That is extremely important to living a healthy, happy life. Physical fitness, for me, is something I need. I need to sweat. I need to lift weights. That's me. And I'm dealing with injuries right now, so it makes it very difficult, but I'm still going to the gym. I'm lifting light. I'm getting my sweat on. Now, I am not a pusher. I know that there's 1,000 different ways for you to get your exercise in. You might like running. You might like riding bikes. You might have a Peloton. You might like to jump on the treadmill. You might like to lift weights. You might like yoga. I could go on and on. You might like CrossFit. You might like hiking. You might like rocking. You might like rock climbing. Whatever it is that you enjoy, do that and set aside time to do that multiple times a week. I'm a big fan of working out 5 times a week. For you, it might be 3 times a week. If you're not working out at all or not getting any kind of physical fitness in at all, working out 1 day a week and focusing on growing that and doing it more often than 1 day a week, then 2 days a week, 3 days a week, start. That's all I've got to say. And don't be afraid to fail. If you have a friend that likes rock climbing or hiking or running, run with them. Do that activity with them. But if you don't like it, I can tell you right now, it's not going to be sustainable. You have to like that activity. You have to enjoy that activity to make it a habit, to make it sustainable. So once you find something you enjoy, whatever it may be, whether it's basketball, racquetball, I could go on and on with ideas. Once you find that thing that you enjoy doing, stick with it and make it a habit. It's going to make you feel good. It's going to give you an escape. It's going to help you feel healthier, more agile. The positives far, far, far outweigh any potential negatives. And the reason I mentioned negatives, I'm just going to get into an Alex story here. Let me take another sip of my Manhattan. I enjoy lifting weights. When you lift heavy, the potential for injury is there. I'm dealing with a nagging shoulder injury. Earlier in the summer, I've injured my back. I'm not going to stop lifting weights. My parents, however, will tell me, hey, look at your father. He's never had an injury in his life. And look at him. He's a picture of perfect health, even though he's 100 pounds overweight. I love my dad. He's my best friend. I'm just using that as an example in terms of what a negative might be. You're going to get hurt sometimes. You're going to get sore. You might injure yourself. But guess what? That's life. Stick with it. And again, also know your limits, I guess you could say. I'm not going to advocate for doing something that's going to hurt you. But know your limits and know when your body's talking to you, telling you to stop or back off on it. But it's important just to find something that you love in terms of physical fitness and stick with it. Number 4, it's a 3-part. Number 4, it's eat healthier, get more sleep, drink more water, all go hand in hand. Eat healthier. Again, if you're a busy professional, you might be stopping at fast food, getting fast food too often. You might be getting Grubhub, Instacart, whatever delivered to your home more often than you should not. Eating fresh is important. And when I say eating fresh, avoid the aisles. So you could start. Here's just a tip for starting with eating fresh. Fresh meat, fresh produce, fresh vegetables, all the things that are not boxed or bagged, anything with preservatives. That's a good start. And hey, it might be a salad with some meat on it. Whatever it is, it's just start a little bit. If you're eating out 3 meals a week or a day, have one meal that's fresh and then kind of grow from there. I always say, start today and get 1% better every day. And you're going to be way ahead of anybody that decides not to start and has that regret that they didn't start doing that. Getting more sleep, very important. I know that I was always that person who was like sleeping 4 hours a night, 5 hours a night. And it's not enough. and you don't think clearly, you've got more of a temper when you don't sleep. There's a ton of negatives to not getting enough sleep. Find that magic number for yourself that makes you feel good, rested, and lets you attack the day with clarity. For me, that's probably about 7 hours a night. 7 hours a night is great. Wake up, I feel rested, I feel energized, I can tackle the day. But find that number and be consistent with it. Water, I always say a gallon a day. That's kind of the rule. Sometimes I drink 2 gallons a day. I feel like it makes me younger and also helps wash down some of the cocktails that I drink. But drinking enough water goes hand in hand with better health. My last piece of advice for this very short podcast: don't dwell on the past. Focus on the future. We've all failed. We've all done things that we've regretted. We've all missed out on opportunities. We've all been wronged in the past. These are all examples of things that if you dwell on those things, you're going to get bitter. And that's not the way you want to attack your life. If you focus on the past, you have no control of what happened. It already happened. There's nothing you could do about it. Learn from it and focus on the future. A good saying is, don't get bitter over the past, get better. So if you look forward to the future, learn from your mistakes, try your best not to make them again. It might happen, but don't get hung up on yourself. It's cool. Just focus on the future. And a lot of that goes hand in hand with tip number 2, which is focusing on the positives. So I'm going to refresh this one more time, give you guys a rundown, and then I'm going to go to enjoy this nightcap with Kristen. Number 1, always have something to look forward to. Do it now. Reach out to your significant other if you want to plan a date night. Surprise them with a date night. Surprise yourself or treat yourself to a massage. Book a flight on a weekend. Go somewhere. But put something on your calendar and have it to look forward to. That's something you do right now. Number 2, focus on the positives. Find that one thing in life that you truly love and that truly brings you energy and focus on that. Number 3, find exercise you love and stick with it. Number 4, eat healthier, get more sleep, and drink enough water. And number 5, don't dwell on the past, focus on the future. I'm Alex Nepa, and this is officially the shortest Sips and Ish podcast. I want to thank you guys for listening every week. I'm trying my best to grow this, trying my best to become a better host. Always down for tips, and I'm always down to share cocktails with you. Check us out, sipsandish.com. We'll be back next week with a great guest, Kyle Turchetta. Signing off, everybody. Enjoy.